Hello. Welcome back to The Young Voter. I'm sorry for posting the video so late tonight, but I was out hearing a speech from Independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. He gave a speech at a local gathering here in San Francisco, and I went to speak to him. And he really was inspirational. He really stands as a moral compass in the political world today. He really is a champion of the middle class in its fight against the multi-million-dollar forces attacking it in the political climate today. He tells us, and he told our crowd, that there are forces that I believe, and I agree with him, multi-million-dollar forces, greedy forces of the richest individuals in this country that are trying to destroy every piece of social legislation enacted over the past 80 years. And I fully agree. When there are Republican state and national senators trying to pass bills that would repeal the minimum wage, eliminate driver's licenses, and get rid of child labor laws, I understand, and I have come to the belief that there is a concerted agenda to get rid of the social safety net in this country. Laws that protect the middle class, that ensure that it has some standard of living, some way that average Americans can get up in the morning and know that they can provide for their children, their grandchildren, and maybe even their aging parents. That the government is not there just to look on, just to sit idly by. That the United States is not a jungle, okay? That it is not a Hobbesian environment in which everyone is stepping over everyone else in a desperate attempt to survive. I, however, am convinced that that is how our Republican colleagues view this issue. That's what Senator Sanders said, and I agree with him. It's not a crazy idea, it's a Hobbesian view, but it's a cynical view. That everyone is out there to get everyone else, and that you should step over anyone else, and that you're on your own. If you don't have health care and you get hit by a car on the street, and you go bankrupt because of medical costs, you're on your own. If you don't have health insurance, and your child gets sick, and you have to take him to the hospital, and you can't pay for his food or his treatment, you're on your own. If you're a couple trying to look for affordable housing, and the prices are just out of reach, you're on your own. Because the Republican Party, the right wing in this country, has been fully bought by the millionaires and billionaires whose greed knows no bounds. No bounds are known to these people. They want more, 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 and more. They want more of your money. They want more tax cuts. And when there are billions and billions in deficits and national debts, they want your entitlements, your health care, your social security, your police, fire, teachers to be cut. They want your benefits to be cut, but nothing can happen to them. Oh no! All the money has to go to them and away from you, the working people of this country. They want more, more, and more. They're never willing to give. And they've constructed an empire in which they are king. Because their money does not just sit there. They use it as a weapon to fight against you. They're on the warpath. They're coming to get your benefits and to take your money. And you can't let that happen. But it's happening. It's happening. Republican lawmakers passed their $60 billion continuing resolution to fund the government till the end of the year. It's not going to pass because the Senate already has said it is too draconian. An independent analysis by Goldman Sachs says it would lower GDP by 2%. But why then do Republicans advocate it? Because they are fully owned subsidiaries of national and multinational corporations and are fully owned whores of the millionaires and billionaires of this country. Now I generalize. Not every millionaire and every billionaire is an idiot. In fact, hardly any of them are idiots. Because they know how to deal with their money. But not all of them are evil either. Some of them genuinely care about people. They're successful. But they don't want to hinder other people. Their greed knows no bounds. Some of them Some people out there who are wealthy, very wealthy, they don't have greed, okay? They have bounds to what they want. But others don't, and it's an addiction, just like people are addicted to alcohol, tobacco, gambling. These people are addicted to more. It's never enough for them. A lot of these bankers caused the financial crisis. We bailed them out, and now they're getting more bonuses. It's never enough. Never enough for them. When is it enough? Is $100 million a year enough? $1 billion a year enough? 10 million? How much does an individual need? How much do you keep needing to accumulate on the backs of ordinary Americans? Apparently, ad infinitum. Apparently, you can keep accumulating. You can screw the middle class. And that's what the Republicans are doing. I'm going to read a list of cuts. Okay, a sample of amendments, most of which were passed. Okay? These amendments destroy the social safety net, the social fabric of this country. Number one, eliminates EPA authority to regulate gases. Therefore, greenhouse gases, coal gas, coal fumes, up in the air, pollute the air. Who cares? Their children not dying in the street? You're on your own. Get rid of the Freedom of Information database. You know that average Americans can have an idea, okay, of what the government is doing, okay? Government policies. Nope. Tough. We're going to do what we want. You can't know. You're on your own. Getting rid of national monument funding. Okay, this was a proposed amendment. It wasn't passed. They wanted to get rid of national monument funding. Gettysburg. Who needs it? National parks? Parks? Who needs trees? They're on their own. Just getting rid of the Clean Air Act. You know, the act that requires a certain standard for particles that are released into the atmosphere by companies. Who needs that? You're on your own. Keeps an oil company slush fund for the Department of Energy. Of course. I mean, without helping the big business, big oil, where would we be nowadays? You're on your own if you're not a big oil company. Eliminates equal pay for minorities, okay? Minority, you don't need equal pay with other people, with white people. You're Hispanic or black, equal pay, what is this? You're on your own. Eliminates federal contractors' equality of pay with local pay, okay? So this is Davis-Bacon. This was not passed, thank God, okay? What it would have done is, it would have not, okay, allowed federal contractors to have, when they're paid to do a local job, their wages would not have been set to a local standard, the average local going rate. So as a federal contractors could have been paid nothing. You could have been paid zilch. Okay, you could have paid them $5 an hour. But even if people there in the local marketplace are getting paid $15, $20, $25 an hour, if you're a federal contractor, sad day for you. Eliminates safeguards on children's toys. Children's toys? With harmful plastics and toxins? You're on your own. Who needs children's toy regulation? Okay, increases Medicare costs and cuts benefits. Medicare? Benefits? No, we're going to increase your costs and we're going to cut your benefits. We need to give our tax cuts to the Koch brothers. What are you talking about? Middle class? Who needs the middle class? What are you talking about? Eliminates, there was one amendment offered by a congressman from Texas, eliminates Texas education funds, okay? Basically gives the state of Texas, okay, a bailout. It's another bailout of the state of Texas, $835 million, because their governor was originally given education aid, okay, to supplement the education budget in the state of Texas. But instead he used it as the education budget of the state of Texas. So instead of improving education in the state of Texas, he used that aid as the budget. Now they don't have a budget, so they have to bail out the state of Texas. Yay, bailouts. Yay, bailouts. Let's bail out the states. Why not? Cut Secret Service funding. Protecting the president? Protecting congressmen? What? Eliminates collection of assault weapons sales info. Of course. Assault weapons? Everyone should have one. I want everyone to own an AK-47 and a machine gun. I mean, obviously we're going to be safer if we all have machine guns. I mean, it's the most logical thing in the world. Of course. So, again, there you see it. Republicans, once again, trying to get rid of basically all the social legislation in this country. Okay? And I find it amusing, okay, that people still support them. But it's sad, okay, because they're trying to undermine us, okay? They're trying to get rid of us, okay? And we can laugh about it, that people actually are duped by their tactics. But the fact is, they're out and fighting against what we should support, okay? They're trying to get rid of our minimum wage. They're trying to get rid of Social Security, okay? The absorbent $14,000 a year payment for retirees. $14,000 a year, lavish payment, lavish, okay? You can't afford $14,000 a person for Social Security for something that they've paid into all their lives. Even though Social Security has a huge, okay, surplus, $2.5 billion. It's going to pay 100% of benefits for the next 27 years, and then afterwards 70% ad infinitum. No, forget about it. No, we need to cut it, because we need to give the Koch brothers their billions and billions in tax breaks, because they're not doing well enough. They only have a net worth of $35 billion. No, that's not enough. Are you kidding me? The greed never ends. The greed never ends. And that's the attack on the middle class that we're facing this week, okay? And we see it in Wisconsin, okay, with Governor Scott Walker, who, of course, this week was pranked called by Ian Murphy, okay, pretending to be David Koch. Ian Murphy is a reporter with the Daily Beast, okay? And Walker shows his attempts in the phone call to systematically entrap the 14 Senate Democrats, okay, who escaped to Illinois, so that they would pass this union-busting bill. And if you don't support unions, this is not about unions, okay? First they come after public sector unions, then they come after private sector unions. And then what do you have? At least, even if you're not in a union, okay, your wage is somewhat comparable to a union wage. Even though it's lower most of the time, a lot of the time, it's still closer to it than it would be if there were no union, because then there would be no standard. You'd be constantly undercut. And employers would constantly lower wages. Why? If you don't have a union, if you don't have collective bargaining, they can just fire you. How are you going to deal with labor? How are you going to deal with management? They're going to just fire you and go on to the next guy. Workers need to work together. That's why we created unions. We still need unions. We can't get rid of collective bargaining. This is a systematic attack on the middle class, and I know this rant has been longer than usual this week, but I've been inspired by Bernie and all of the horrible things that are going on in this country right now and that are trying to be implemented by these Republican governors everywhere that want to get rid of any sort of safety net you have. Any sort of security you might have for your future, gone. Because this country is Hobbesian. You're on your own. This is a jungle. Step over the next person to get to the top, or else you're going to be stepped onto and crushed. Is that the country we want to live in? Is that the America we were brought up in, and the America that we were brought up to believe in? I don't think so. I think we're better than that, okay? I think we're better than that, and I think you think we're better than that. So let's fight back. And I'm going to keep saying this, we need to fight back. Thank you again for watching The Young Voter.